the next speaker is Solomon Krueger, and we absolutely love. Actually, it took us some coaxing. Yes, to get him to be a part of it because he was so busy, and so the compromise was that we could record an interview with him, so that you would have access to the pretty good things that he and his partner do. So Solomon is the co-founder of website that is called Authentically Go. And we absolutely loved it because they create these spaces where you can go and have very intelligent conversations around a specific subject or something that I feel we have lost a bit in our society. It is actually extremely challenging in the current times with the quarantines and lockdowns and all of those things. We are going on to 2 years, and I don't think it's going to stabilize. I mean, some of the things are here to stay. And that's why another reason why we think what we're doing here is so important, so that you understand that there are alternatives available to you. And this one would be a big one because it is all about socializing and training your muscles to create relationships in a different way. And so Solomon is going to talk about that. And so please share with us if this is new to you, if whatever you take from our conversation, so that we can, and then he is probably going to be around at 4:30, at least for the Q&A. So just take notes, share with us your impressions, and here is Solomon with you. So, bear with me. What is the share thing? On the screen too. Hi, Solomon. We are super excited to have you here. I was so eager to get in front of the audience, but they probably don't know yet why. So that's the intention of this interview. Why? First thing then that I wanted to tell them is what motivated you to be part of this event?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I think when I got the invitation originally from Donna, I didn't know anything about both of you and EQUALLIBRIUM, and I looked at your website and your page, and I was really touched by the work that you're doing, and it really resonated with the work that we're doing with Authentically Go. And I also have a lot of personal experience and interest around emotional resilience. And so the topic itself for these 2 days was something that was close to my heart.
Great. I think that might be common to a bunch of us. It's a highly human concept to be in touch with our emotions and listen to them and learn from them. Although it's a tough thing to do, which is why we're here today. I definitely love what you do. We've talked about it before, and one of the things that you always emphasize is the need for bringing greater presence into the inner experience. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think we can go the other way. Without presence, without awareness, there's more difficulty in facilitating any kind of change or transformation or healing. So I think the first step in any inner work or trying to overcome difficult emotions, let's say, is to bring awareness and presence to what's there. So, and I think there's a distinction between awareness and presence. I think presence to me feels like embodied awareness. There's a sense of feeling in and with what is happening in my experience. And my hands are kind of pointing inwards. I'm like, there's a sense of connectedness with my inner experience. And I think that is a catalyst for a change process or a transformational process.
Actually, I'm so in tune with what you're saying. And I'm pretty sure that the audience is going to understand this more and more the more they listen to our speakers. Because for us, like Donna and I, presence is all about being connected to your physical body, being informed by what you really want, what resonates with you. And so, yes, is that capacity that we acquire when we're there to look into the eyes of the person from a place of genuine presence. Like you're really hearing what's happening and not in your head listening to your own conversation kind of thing. So yeah, I love the way you bring this to what you do. Something you mentioned to me once was that the art of cultivating curiosity and empathy toward painful voices. Do you refer to inner voices or the voices of others?
Both. Thank you for that question. Yeah, it's not clear. And I think both are equally important. I mean, we can notice what's coming up. It's helpful to notice and bring curiosity to. I'm hearing this voice in my head, or there's a part of me that is saying, you know, protect yourself, or, you know, share how you feel, or is feeling impacted by someone else. Like, oh, that hurts. Like, how could they do that? How could they say whatever it is, right? There's sometimes these voices that are there, and it's helpful to notice whether we are judging them or trying to ignore them, or maybe bringing curiosity. And curiosity is so helpful to start to befriend those voices. Curiosity is a great way to, because I find when I'm in curiosity, I cannot be in judgment. It's a really helpful switch or shift to an openness of what is going on, as opposed to why is that there? That shouldn't be there. Or why is this person saying this thing to me right now? They seem to be in a lot of pain, or they seem to be really angry, as opposed to, oh, they're in a, you know, some judgment. Oh, they're selfish, or, you know, they're upset, or, you know, and have a judgment that would then cut off a possibility of learning more about who they are, what they need, or what they want from me, or what I did that I don't know that I did.
Totally.
So curiosity, yes, so helpful.
Yes, I totally agree. I think that when we come to a conversation with a preconceived idea of what is going to happen, or how is it going to go, or what kind of reactions I might have to it, that totally kicks us out of curiosity. Right? I think it's all related, just the presence that we were talking about before, the curiosity that you are mentioning, totally, and a component of deep listening. Just that, which I think is where the curiosity lands you. That is you being really into what you're listening, right? Without stepping into the judging part of us, right? Like I love this, and what we do is actually totally resonant with what you're mentioning. So yeah, go ahead.
So just one practical part to the curiosity is sometimes it's helpful to have some questions that are not like leading questions of trying to get the answer that you expect, or, that's really hard, isn't it? You know, kind of a question that really is not about an open curiosity. It might be more of a leading or preconceived idea hidden in the form of a question. And so I try to think of and bring questions that can be a little bit more clean, and something like, and what is that like? To say that, to share that, and how does it feel to be here with me now? Or I can ask myself, and whereabouts is that pain in myself? Whereabouts is that voice? Oh, it's in my heart. And I can get curious there, and then go deeper. So having some questions like that that can really support the inquiry with presence, that kind of direct that presence somewhere.
Beautiful. I'm guessing that is pretty priceless tip that you guys and the audience is going to take with you out of this conversation. So step away from leading questions and ask clean questions. That's how you call it, right? Yes, amazing. Totally agree. So then how could you describe what is for you authentically relating? How do we practice that on top of what we've been talking about?
Yeah, authentic relating is a wonderful framework to practice ways of being with others that are bringing more curiosity, like we were talking about, more presence, as well as not just awareness of ourselves, but awareness of other, and that sort of a relational presence, relational awareness that can support deeper connection. Ultimately, it's really a deeper connection where we can feel safe enough to be vulnerable, to be ourselves, to be real. And especially when we have difficult emotions, it can be really supportive and healing to be able to connect with someone else in such ways that we feel held, we feel witnessed, deeply seen and heard. So these are elements of authentic relating, being able to notice fully one another and notice how they are, and then to share impact of what we notice, or what we notice in ourselves as we are with the other, or as we notice how we feel about what the other is saying. These are part of the tools in the toolbox of authentic relating.
Great. There is something that in a previous conversation we had, you mentioned, and we absolutely love because it totally resonates with what we do. And you mentioned something around authentic relating to yourself. So my question now is, tell us a little bit about what is it that you have, this space that you guys created, and how did you come around bringing all of these things that you're mentioning to us into the experiences that you facilitate for your clients? How does that work?
There's a lot of pieces, but I want to try and simplify it here as best as I can. The core, there are core ingredients. Let's say you can have, your flour and your milk and your sugar, right? We're going to create something that we want to bake. Well, so that's an analogy for cooking. Well, similarly with authentic relating and the work that we're doing, which actually has many, let's say, spokes, spokes that connect to a central hub. For us, it's really about relational empowerment. And authentic relating is one central and important spoke, but we have mindfulness, we have embodiment practices, we have nonviolent communication, or conscious communication. They all kind of are tools that we can use. Clean language is another one that we bring together to support a relational empowerment. So we have different offerings, all offered online. So they're live facilitated events online that can support deeper connection in different ways. So we use those different ingredients in different combinations to offer a sharing circle, either maybe a women's sharing circle or men's sharing circle, or connection games that can have a number of practices, or skill workshops, like skills like curiosity could be a skill that you develop, or how to own your experience and really stay clear about what belongs to you, what feelings and beliefs that you have, and how do you own that. So we have a number of practices where they come and they show up in a different set of events. We have one called Heart Lounge. We have another one called Presence Playgrounds, and another one called Casual Conscious Connections. So there's a various number of offerings that we have that we bring together the presence, empathy, curiosity, and these different frameworks as well that we bring together in these different offerings that are offered almost every day on our platform.
And probably that's why I fell in love with your space, guys, and what you guys do, because a lot of what is done around communication and relationships in the outer world it all stays in the head. It conducive to people thinking I need to frame myself to be a specific way, and being in your head is actually the opposite of being present in your body. And what I absolutely love of what you guys do is that you give these spaces to actually train the muscles of being all of these things that we discussed today. Right? And to me, that's amazing, because that you're not in your head, you're actually using or developing those skills and getting the feedback immediately, right, on whatever is happening. And we get better at it, we get more comfortable at it. And I love that this space is created. So I can't wait to hear what is it that you are putting in the bundle that our audience will have the opportunity to buy into and get services of all the speakers. So what are you bringing in?
Yeah, well, just want to quickly add that I love what you said about the gym, that we use that analogy to talk about inviting people to the emotional gym to get their emotional hygiene, so they're coming to really practice those muscles, as you're saying. And that's, really only possible to practice in relationship. You can only do so much on your own. And if you want to improve your relationships and your connections, you need to do it with other people. And this is a space that's a safer space to do that, where people are more trained and it's held in a container that can support that practice. So yeah, thank you so much. And for the bundle, we're offering 2 free months. So 2 free months to come and practice and learn these different tools and skills.
Amazing. So there you go, guys. 2 months of free access to this emotional gym for your emotionally hygiene. I love that. With the guys at Authentic Relating. That I think, like, something we always tell our clients is that, it is all about discovering who you are. And for that, you need to be open to new experiences, just to push yourself a little bit and discover what's the edge of growth, right? Like, what is it that I'm moving towards? What is it that I really like? What resonates with me? And for that, you need to interact, right? Like, to discover what is it that is inside of you and bring it out. And these 2 months, I think, are priceless. Thank you so very much, Solomon, for saying yes to our invitation. I'm pretty sure that our audience is a lot more better served with you here. It's been a pleasure. Is there anything else you want to?
Thank you. Yeah, I wish for everyone the best in their journey to find more peace and joy and love in their hearts and in their lives. And if this can help in any way, I feel grateful. So thank you so much for your time, and yeah, till next time.
Yes, definitely. See you soon.
See you. Bye.
Yay! So
Hello.
oh,
Yes, go ahead.
No, I'm live. Okay, we never know. Anyway, we're sorry that Solomon couldn't be here with us live, and Yasmilde, they certainly had the time with him, and we had a chance to meet with him before, but it was so wonderful to hear. I've not delved into Authentic Relating. I know people that have. I would love to hear from everybody what resonated
the most. There's someone here that knows the Solomon's work, Eva, that's great to hear. But if anyone else has been involved in any form of authentic relating, and this is Authentic Relating Go, there are different, I guess, chapters, different things, but these guys are based out of Montreal, which is fabulous. So, but wherever in the world you are, this is all virtual. And like Solomon was sharing, there's things that are games, there's different type of connecting. And one of the things I think that hit for me was when Yasmilde, when they were talking about, you know, pushing the edge, the curiosity. A lot of times we want to make these big shifts. We know the rumblings have been happening. You know, our emotions were like, okay, I'm gonna do this, right? And we push the edge so far that it causes a backsplash of a different type of emotion. So it's really to just know that because our emotions are there all the time and we're navigating them, it is beautiful to push the edge, the envelope a little bit. And if you push too far, be okay. Just know that it's going to keep causing different things. And I think I'm super excited, actually, the bundle to get into some of Solomon's work, because I have heard about it for years. I just have never. And to really be able to work and just meet new people and do it that way. There's a curiosity, there's a vulnerability to that. And I think that's the space that does continue to open us up. You're smiling because it's her turn.
I'm laughing because I love it when this happens. I was thinking, right, there are, in the conversation with Solomon, there were a few words that came up that I loved. And I was thinking about the words, and as I was thinking about them, she said them.
Oh, and that is energy. The funnier thing, I thought she was going to say, oh, I remember when that was not you, Donna, because I do, and she would, and people that know me here would know that, oh my gosh, when you really look back, you know, Yasmilde was sharing her story earlier about just in 3 years, how she shifted everything from a 30-year science career into what is our practice now and what we do. Things can shift that quickly when you do have these tools, when you put behind it the intentionality, when you come forward with just seeing yourself in a new place. So without further ado, you know that there's a bundle to be purchased. What Solomon's putting in there, I mean, it's 2 months, it's interactive. You can jump in, like he shared, there's something going on all the time. So these things are there, and all of these things with all of our speakers with the bundle's there. Some of you have asked, can I have a bit more detail? Absolutely. Not while I'm here, because I'm enjoying this too, but right after I'll share for those of you that are curious. But get the bundle, there's so much there. You have an outline as to what they are, but if you're really curious, these speakers are really sharing what it is, and that's the first step. I could never explain fully what it is. I think the value alone, $157 for what is over $3,500 worth of products and services and programs, and connecting with our speakers, that says it all. I mean, there's not much that you can purchase for $157 to get all of this. So anyway.
And no, and I
yes,
wanted
please.
to emphasize that this opportunity that Solomon is putting into the bundle is amazing, because it comes, I think the timing is uncanny. It's exactly, it's right on time, on point. There is this shift that needs to happen on the way we relate to each other, in the way we relate to ourselves. And like he says, there is so much that you can do on your own. We know that one of the most powerful things about our own programs are the community that we create within it, and the level of learning and healing that we go through just by sharing, right? So when you mix that with skills for communicating, for choosing words, for learning skills or practicing more, so skills such as being curious, being genuine, being present in your communication, and not thinking about the grocery list in your head while somebody's telling you something, and also genuinely listening to what somebody is saying. Those are invaluable tools that will definitely reverberate in the way you relate to yourself, which is something that will influence absolutely everything in your life. So then We already have, and I have to say, we already have some of you that have jumped into the opportunity. We are super grateful in the name of the children that that is going to be serving, and congratulate you for taking, you know, that big step towards having tools, actionable tools, to create joy in your life in so many different ways. So yes.
Actually, maybe Tassia, you can wait for one more second, because I think one of the things I want to, she's sitting there smiling, one of the things I want to share even about the bundle, because we are talking about it, and I know that we shared the video, definitely go on to the website that we've created.
Yes.
Just, it's in its infancy, but certainly you'll see what our vision is and what we're building and how we want to include practitioners, others like those, and some of you that might be listening, people that you might know, if they resonate in this space of wanting to shift things for our children, bring them on board. People who have children that need help like this, parents that want to learn about what's going on, not only with their children in themselves and their own inner child, as we frame it, and you've likely heard those words, and if you haven't, big, beautiful words to start to step into. We're going to need sponsors and donors and all of these things. Volunteers of all kinds.
Practitioners.
This is at its infancy, and it is going to only get bigger, because this has been a vision of each of ours independently, something that we brought together, and something that truly does pull us forward. We have intention behind what we're creating, and like one of the other speakers said, and we say it as well, it takes a village. I think, Lisa, that was you. It's beautiful. It does take a village. We are all connected, interconnected, and we need to understand what all of those pieces entail. And so stay curious about that, and invite questions as well, whether that's today, afterwards, and as we continue. So
exactly
about that, I will drop the bundle, but